In today's update, we're going to cover how to rebalance a portfolio. This particular portfolio started up 5% in the first 24 hours, and just another 72 hours later, it's down 8.8%. This is set on the super risky setting, which is designed to get the maximum gain if the market goes up, but on the flip side, it'll get the maximum loss if the market goes down. Now, all of our strategy settings essentially build an index of the market based on their trading volume, but when we're running on the super risky setting, we're artificially weighing down the value of Bitcoin and Ethereum as well as Litecoin and Bitcoin Cash so that we can have larger relative sizes in our altcoins. And so the strategy I've chosen to use in 2018 after this tremendous crash is the super risky setting. And in general, when prices are depreciating, I like to take on risk, and when prices are appreciating, I like to remove the risk. So as Bitcoin, as the benchmark, hits different milestones, I will consider changing my portfolio from the super risky setting to the risky setting, and when I get really nervous about how much it's gone up, I'll switch to the smart setting, and then finally all to cash. But this is not necessarily the best strategy for a lot of investors out there. Many of you are better off just sticking to the smart setting or the risky setting at all times, because this will still hold most of your portfolio in either Bitcoin or Ethereum with some cash on the side, so that if there are drawdowns and dips in the market from here, you'll have some money on the sideline to beef up your portfolio once again. And in terms of technical analysis, the main thing I follow is the trading volume. And so the trading volume from July last year, as you can see, was extremely low. And now it's up about 300%. So in my mind, the trading volume is healthy, the cryptocurrency market is healthy, the short-term price is deceiving, and I believe cryptocurrencies are greatly undervalued right now. So that's why I'm happy to run this super risky strategy, and I'm not too concerned about short-term volatility. In 2017, we watched our portfolio grow 1,200% in less than 6 months, really in more like 3 to 4 months. So the gains can come out of nowhere and very quickly. But if you don't have the lines in the pond, you're not going to catch any fish. But with that said, you're not really changing the strategy all that much by sticking to the smart system. So if you're running with $50,000, $100,000, $200,000 in the cryptocurrency market, and you really don't like to see huge amounts of drawdown, you don't have any additional cash to add to your position if it were to drop another 50% from here, then that's the strategy you should be running on, is the smart strategy. And so the biggest rebalances in our portfolio are going to happen when we're changing strategy settings. So today's update is not going to be about making big changes. It's going to be about making some small changes while maintaining the super risky setting. And I'll remain set on the super risky setting until the market has recovered. If we have large drawdowns, that's going to be part of the risk I'm willing to take on the super risky setting. So keep that in mind. So let's look over here at our portfolio, and you can see the return on investment that you're going to see in the Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to be diluted because we're trading in and out of those coins to purchase all of the other coins in our portfolio. So a lot of those profits will start to build up over time in these positions, but because they're acting as an intermediary between all of our other coins, you really got to look at the individual profit loss per trade on these various tabs. Now, the profit loss on an individual coin outside of those would be very accurate. And we can see, except for a few exceptions, the entire market has gone down. And so if any position has gone down too significantly, while the trading volume's staying strong, that's a great buy signal. So I like to buy when they're going down and then sell when they're going up faster than their trading volume is growing. And that's just the basic strategy that we do with the portfolio builder system. So as I scroll down, you can see most of these positions are down between 10 to 30%. Here's one that's down 50%. And so there's only a few positions that'll probably really require a lot of management right now. So if I go to the money manager here, I can now look, according to the last 7 days of trading volume, what's the percent difference that I'm away from my target position size. And so I can see I have 77% too much Bitcoin. I'm short Ethereum 42%. I have 120% too much Ethereum Classic. I'm short on Vertcoin by 80%. I'm short on Stratus by 71%. I have 850% too much VeChain. I've got 100% too much Genesis Vision, 200% too much Bread, 200% too much REQ, and you can continue to go down and down. Now, some of these positions didn't have enough trading volume initially to fill the position in the first place, but now their trading volume has popped up to a level where it could fit in our portfolio. So now that we're taking a look at column D, we have an idea of where certain positions may have gotten way out of whack. But the next question is it enough of a difference to my total portfolio to bother with it? So in this example, we're using a $120,000 hypothetical portfolio. And so if I look over here, I can see this represents about 1.7% of my portfolio with $1,700. This represents 2.9% of my portfolio, or about 20% less than that. So as I scroll down, there's no single trade that really represents a huge chunk of my portfolio. And I'm talking like 5 to 10% of my portfolio being off balance. That's what would really make me want to make a trade right now. However, you can see most of these trades are relatively small. Now, if there is a big differential in a coin way down here, these are the ones that can really make a huge impact on my portfolio, because these are the tokens that we're trying to beat the crowd before it goes to Binance. So I may look at amping up some positions down here that have a smaller value just because I know the potential return is gigantic if they do get listed and go mainstream. Now, and these tokens are already at Binance, so we're really waiting for them to really take off. They already have access to the biggest market of buyers in the world. And when their trading volume does take off, we're automatically going to see that we need to increase our position over here. So I'm scrolling through, and in this area, I'm just going to highlight some of the trades I think are worth my time today. So I want to load up on that. That's $956 short and 70% below the target size. This one's down considerably, 81%. Rather, this one's up 81% beyond where it should be. So we actually have too much risk in this coin. This coin needs to be purchased, CPC chain. I believe this is an advertising coin, which is something of great interest to me because we're obviously advertising our platform on YouTube. And there's been days where it says that 100% of the people watched our video, which is a 45-minute video, and racked up a huge advertising bill, but nobody clicked on the ad. So there's clearly some advertising fraud happening. And that coin and many coins like it are attempting to alleviate that problem. Okay, here's a Binance coin that we can add some more exposure to that's dropped. It's down 78% from its target position size. And the USD value is worth enough of my time to actually put the effort into it. Here's another coin that we could load up on. So I'm just scrolling. I'm looking for positions that are relatively large Here's another one, down 72%. Another one down $700. Another one down $845. Here's a big one down, Gifto. Now here's one that's saying we're way too overloaded on it, so that's probably one I should scale down. Now we're getting into some of the mainstream coins that have been popular and well known for quite some time. Zcash could have a boost, and if this pops up and you still want to edit, you can just hit OK. And then this one, Cardano, has way too much. Stellar has quite a bit too much. And then our Ethereum is pretty low. And then we're going to be able to convert some of this from Bitcoin into Ethereum. So this looks like a pretty reasonable amount of work for a rebalance. And I don't really recommend doing this too often, but it's really up to you. How much every time you want to put into it is how often you can rebalance your portfolio and continue to mimic the index of the market. Okay, so let's go ahead and start balancing our portfolio now. And I do want to remind you at the bottom of each email is a link to our Getting Started guide. And at the bottom of that, we've put a pretty much mandatory reading list that everybody following our system should really study. And so all these training videos, especially when we start getting to how to use Binance or Abra, are all contained in this reading list, as well as how to use IDEX.markets to get those very bottom coins for the diamond level members. In this video, I'm not going to be actually entering the trades into IDEX, Binance, Abra, or moving them around in a nano ledger. That kind of education is already provided for you, again, right here. So what we're going to talk about is how to enter the trades into the spreadsheet and use the portfolio platform. So first thing I'm going to do is have more than one tab open. So I'm going to have two tabs open. I'm going to have one for my money manager and then one for whichever tab I'm working on. So I'm going to work from the bottom up. I'm going to start off by dealing with these coins down here that would affect our diamond level members. And so I need to sell 17,773 P-Chain coins, and I need to buy 4,407 CPC chain coins. And that will balance out the positions I was worried about in the IDEX.markets group of cryptocurrencies. Okay, so let's first do the Pi trade. So this is going to be selling this coin to buy Ethereum. So I'm going to be buying Ethereum. I'm going to do Control F, type in Pi, and now I can find this tab right here. And I'm actually going to have three tabs because what you're going to find is that we do actually need to find the original price we paid for Pi so that we can get the profit loss later. So I've actually opened another tab so that I have my Ethereum buying right here. I have my Ethereum selling right here. I'm going to go ahead and find that order just so I have it ready. So here's the original order. And then I can go to my money manager and I'll scroll down to the Pi trade. And I can copy this figure right here, Ethereum buying. And so the number of Pi coins sold to buy Ethereum goes right here. And it's going to be a positive number, so I do have to delete that negative. Now, how much Ethereum would I receive? So I come back to here, and that's how much Ethereum this trade would cost. Now, if you were using Binance, you'd actually be able to place in the actual amount that you received. And again, this will be a positive number. Now, the commission cost I can actually program to be relative to this times 0.001, or you could just type in what you really paid. Alright, the dates. So today is 8/2/2018. Now the initial date I can grab right here, so I'm going to come over here. So I paid 4 cents for this coin originally, and I did it on 7/23. Okay, so now if I trigger an update, it's going to fill out the rest of this for me. Okay, update is done, and now we can see the price per coin paid. You can see the profit loss. You can see the days held, and we have the whole trade entered right here. And now you can see that the money manager has changed its mind. We have the perfect amount. Okay, so now let's go look at the next coin. Now I will note that it did override my bolding, so you may want to just write down on a piece of paper which coins you want to update. So this position is 58% below where it should be, and I need to buy 3,774 CPC coins, and it's going to cost 0.5403 Ethereum at the current market price. So where would I go? I'm selling Ethereum because it's in this area where we can only buy these coins with Ethereum to buy the altcoin. So I'm going to go over here. That's Ethereum buying. This is Ethereum selling. So now I need to go find the CPC coin. So I hit Control F to pop up the search bar, type in CPC, and here's our order. Now what I'm also going to do is show you how to combine two trades. So first we'll enter this as a new trade, but then we'll assume that you're going to be doing tons of trading, and I'm going to show you how to consolidate these into a single trade. Okay, so I'm just going to drag this over one so it's next to my middle area. Pop over to here, copy this number right here, and this is Ethereum sold, so I'm going to put this number right there. Come back over here. Here's the Ethereum cost. Now again, you'd be getting these real figures from your actual platform where you're trading at. And the original cost of Ethereum was 462. So we actually will show a loss on that most likely. The original date is still the original date for Ethereum because we're still trading out that initial batch we bought, but today's date is different. And I can put in my commission cost with the formula, or I can manually enter what it really was. So I'm going to say it's the sale value times 0.001 for Binance. And now I can trigger an update and it will fill out the trade for me. Okay, and you can see I lost $27 on this trade from buying and selling the Ethereum. But we now have the right amount of that coin. So now we've done 2 tokens from the IDEX.markets in both directions. Now let's go over to Binance. So we could do the same thing in Binance with Ethereum as the trading pair for a lot of these coins, but I recommend using Bitcoin. So let's pick a few of these trades that would actually be worth our while. So this coin is down significantly and represents the biggest coin that is short in this portfolio, as well as this one. I'm going to go ahead and boost up my investment in those 2 tokens right now. And in terms of selling any tokens that have gone up too much, I'm only seeing values that are around a couple $100s on the positive side, and that's because the market's gone down, so I'm not going to worry about those. But these 3 coins, Gifto, Bytecoin, and Eternity, are down significantly, so I'm going to go ahead and do all of these in one batch and then do one trigger update, and we'll boost up our holdings in those coins. Sorry, Ethos. So let's go over here, and we're going to be doing some Bitcoin selling. So I'll go to the first coin, which is Gifto, copy that. I can do a Control F, type in Gifto, jumps up to here. Here's how many coins I'm purchasing. Can pop over to here, grab how much it costs, which is that much Bitcoin. This will stay the same. This will stay the same. And there's a new date. Now I'm not going to trigger the update yet because I have a few more trades to do. Okay, now I'm going to go to Ethos. Let's just do this one first because it's farther on there. Now, am I worrying a whole lot about why the coin has gone down faster than other coins? No, I'm not. I know that if the trading volume is remaining healthy, my software will tell me a smart position size relative to the market to invest based on my portfolio. So I'm not freaking out about the reasons why. This is a very long-term patient strategy that follows the money. Okay, so now I can copy this over. And the reason I can copy these over is because it's still selling the same Bitcoin we originally bought. And one more. Okay, so I'll grab the Bitcoin cost. Okay, Control F, type in part of the name, paste in that, grab the coin differential, and I'm not worrying about the commission cost, but we have demonstrated how to do that. Copy that over. Okay, now it's trigger an update. So we can already see the trade starting to fill out, the prices, the profit loss, all that jazz. If I come back over here, as soon as this is done updating, it will reflect over here that we have traded those to the proper amount. So those are some Binance pairs that we just balanced out. Let's look at some of these mainstream coins, and these are the ones that you can buy at Binance or Abra. In a few cases you can't get them at Binance yet. So like Vert coin, you have to use Shapeshift or Abra. Digibyte, Dogecoin, and NXT, these are not available at Binance, but you can get them all with Shapeshift, which works really well with the Nano Ledger S. So let's see what's really out of whack over here. Okay, our Cardano position is just way too big. But at this point, we got to think, do we want to help out the Ethereum position or the Bitcoin position? And so it looks like the Bitcoin position is really the most out of whack at 71%. And it's short by $1,500. But if I look over here, I can see that I have more than $1,500 worth of Cardano to rebalance. So actually, Ethereum might be the better choice because this one's short $2,700. So let's go ahead and sell some Cardano and purchase up some Ethereum to try to balance our portfolio in one move. And actually the stellar position could rebalance out Ethereum pretty quickly too. But looking at the relative difference, Cardano's 123% too large of a position while Stellar's only 66%. So let's just do this Cardano trade to start, and we're going to sell 29,000 tokens to buy Ethereum. And I will need to cross-reference the Bitcoin selling, which probably bought the Cardano originally. There it is, with my Bitcoin buying. Okay, so how many coins were sold to buy Ethereum? This many were. Positive. Go back to the money manager. How much Ethereum will we get for it? This much. how much was the original cost of Cardano? 17 cents, and it was bought on this date right here, the final date. So copy that, and I put 17. Today's date. Okay, so now I can trigger an update. The rest of this stuff all figures itself out. I'll come over to here and wait for this to be balanced right here. Okay, and it's still working, but you can see it's already zeroed that out. And at this point, the portfolio is becoming pretty well balanced. You know, I could sit here and really tinker away at it, but relative to the total portfolio size, the biggest difference I can see now is 2% total, too much money in Stellar, but it's only a 66% differential. So if this were at 200 or 300%, I might be a little more worried, but Stratus we're really low on, but it's only $500. So at this point, I don't think it's worth my time to do any more adjustments, as we're really waiting for the market to start to jump up. And then what happens is prices will go up faster than the volume does, and that's where we signal to take profits and reduce exposure. So there is a quick rebalance video for everybody. Now, just for those of you who've been following us for a long time, how do I go about moving my trades over? So it's really just a matter of copy pasting. So here's the 1.1, which will be the most work. Deposits are exactly the same. And so if we compare, the only thing that I've changed is what to color in and what not to fill in. So the yellow colors you can fill in, the purple you don't. Now, I understand that some of you guys are not buying these at GDAX and Coinbase. And so the new template did get rid of not allowing you to edit column H, but it's not going to change really your portfolio in any way, shape, or form in terms of what to buy or sell. It's really just note keeping. So if you do want a brand new sheet released to you, email support and we can give you this column to edit. But really you're just going to fill in column A, D, E, and G based on the same columns. And you can actually copy paste an entire column over because these match exactly. Now where they don't match exactly is once we go over to the Bitcoin selling tabs and the Ethereum selling tabs. The USD tabs I believe are the same still. So some of these tabs, if you compare the rows, you'll see that the coins match up exactly and you can copy paste them over. But in this area, I'm afraid that's not the case. So you're going to have to, let's just do this example, Bitcoin selling. Okay, so you got to find Ethereum and then copy paste your data over. So we would copy that, copy that, copy that, copy that, and then copy the two dates, and then you trigger your update and it's going to refill out all these prices for you. Okay, now those are not trades for this real portfolio, so I'm going to erase those with Control Z to undo. But that's how simple it is to transfer your trades over. Alright guys, that's the update for today. Tomorrow and onward we'll be focusing on the topical content in the macro and micro news related to cryptocurrencies. Thanks for your time as always, and look for a new update tomorrow.